everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be drawing on a tiny canvas with these. These are Posca pens and I've used them a couple of times on my channel before, but today we are painting on a little itty bitty canvas. And yeah, it's going to be pretty fun, so let's get into it. So here is the mini canvas and it is 3 by 4 inches and I just think it's so tiny and cute. I love these. I think for this time I'm going to do it portrait orientation just because I have a little bit of an idea for what I want to paint already. So I'm starting off with a layer of black first before I paint anything over, and that's just because I really want the highlights to stand out in this painting and I want it to sort of pop off the page. And sometimes using black as a base instead of white is quite useful for that. I'm also going to be painting the sides of this canvas too because it is quite a small canvas and I want to sort of incorporate the edges of the canvas in the painting as well because I feel like I'll have a little bit more area to get some details in. So of course I'm going to paint those edges black as well. Now once all of that is dry and I have a nice sort of black coat all over that canvas, I'm going in with some random little shapes. Now I'm actually going to be painting some pebbles all over this because my idea for a painting is to do like a sort of like a goldfish or a koi sort of scene, and I want to have a layer of sort of rocks and pebbles underneath, which is going to be the bottom surface of the water. So for this I'm just using a mixture of a cool grey sort of tone as well as a sort of mid-brown color and also a sort of like a soft orangey peachy sort of color. Now I am using a bit of a limited palette for this artwork, and that's because I don't own too many Posca pens as it is, so that's why I decided to pick this because I have a few sort of like pebble sort of colors, but there's a lot of warm colors like orange, yellow, red and peach as well as white. So I thought, you know, some goldfish or koi or that kind of look would work well with it. I'm actually quite excited soon though because I've actually made a new order for Posca pens. You see, I bought a small amount recently just to try them out and I found that I really love them. So I'm actually going to soon receive a big order of Posca pens and I'm super excited to show you guys that. But now that we've got that nice layer of pebbles all over the canvas, it's time to paint down the fish. Now I'm actually using a big thick white Posca pen. This is one of the thickest ones that they make and I'm just using that to color in a big sort of shape of a fish, just a sort of teardrop shape, and then I'm also doing another one over the side as well because I want 2 fish in this artwork. After that layer is dried, I'm actually going over the top with a smaller white Posca pen. I'm just adding some little highlights here and there just to make it look like it has a bit of a scaly texture on it. And after this I'm going over in some of the other colors to add color to these fish. So I'm actually going in first with the peachy tone, and then after that I'm going in with some more oranges and reds. After this, it is time to add some highlights to those colored areas, and with this I'm just using a mixture of whites as well as a little bit of yellow and a little bit of peach here and there. Now I really like how it's turning out at the moment, but I feel like I want a bit more detail. After this I'm also adding in some eyes. Now I'm using the grayish tone color, and I actually don't have a black. I did have one, but I've sort of left it at home at the moment, so I wasn't able to use it. But I'm using the grey, and I actually really like that because it's not too dark. It keeps the sort of color palette nice. Now I mentioned I didn't have a black. I do have a black of the really thick one but obviously that would be really hard to do the tiny details. And I'm using that really thin white Posca pen that is usually good for liner, and I'm just using that to add a little bit more texture and a little bit more detail to the fins, because I feel like I want them to be really flowy and soft looking, and that gives it a bit of a wispy look that I really like. I'm also adding some thin lines outside of the area of the fins, and this is just to sort of enhance that wispy look that I really like. After this, I want to add some lily pads because I want to sort of work in layers here. So at the start I've did the bottom part, which is all the pebbles, then the fish, and now is the time to do the lily pads. So I'm just doing a few in a sort of nice green color, and then after this I'm going over with a lighter green and a little bit of yellow to add some highlights to those lily pads. So after all of that, I decided I wanted to add just a tiny bit more detail here and there, and I used a little bit of white just to add some ripples around those lily pads, and that really helps to just sort of separate them from the fish and the pebbles and make them look like they're floating over the top. And I really like how it's turning out. I think it looks pretty cute, and the colors are really nice too. And I'm actually quite surprised because I didn't have like a huge amount of colors available to me at the time, but I made do with what I had and I made a cute little illustration. So here's the final results, and I love how it turned out. I think it's just so cute and tiny, and yeah, I tried my best to make a cute illustration that was just as good as if it would have been on a larger canvas, and I think I did alright. So here it is, and I really love it. I think it's super tiny and cute, and the fish turned out pretty well too. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please smash like and subscribe to get your scribble fix in the future, and check out my other videos too. I have a lot. So I hope you all have a lovely day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.